And welcome back to the Flickering Torch podcast with Mr. Dead Scott.
And Smite.
And we gods do not shine upon us. It's Friday for us, so hopefully it's Friday for you guys. If work would ever give us a goddamn break.
And, holidays. Evil Thanksgiving. Eating yourself into oblivion.
And then some.
Yeah.
You didn't make room for dessert. So we're back. I've been drinking. I apologize.
About time. I don't think we drank on the last one.
No, that was a horrible.
That's shame on us.
That's a bad mistake.
Yeah.
So bad.
You won't like me when I'm sober.
Oh man. And it begins, folks. New co-host time. Mystery round. No. Okay, so slight focus here. So we're going to talk about video game reviews, because shockingly we only talk about video games on this podcast.
And then the Game Awards, since it happened yesterday, because today's the 2nd, so it happened on December 1st. So.
Which is interesting time to hold Game Awards.
Yeah, kind of, actually. I guess it would be off season of game releases, though. Well, no, because Final Fantasy just released, and so did
Dishonored released a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of things that have been released. As you can tell, we've done our research. Like always, we here at the Flicking Torch podcast are 0% accurate.
We're just like, hey, do you want to drink beer? Yeah, we should record too. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds great. So, yes, we're here to talk about reviews, and we're here to talk about the Game Awards. And we're both a little salty, I guess, in both departments, you could argue.
Oh, yeah.
Super salty.
Super salty.
Super salty.
Like a saltine.
Ew.
They didn't give me that nickname for a reason.
Oh, God.
So we're going to start off with...
There's other reasons for that. But...
Yeah. We're going to start off with game reviews. The good, the bad, and the... Well, just the good and bad, honestly.
There's not a third option? There's always a third option.
Well, I mean, you have...
Isn't it fire?
Depending on the scaling, you have thumbs up, thumbs down, and side thumb. I guess it would be a side thumb.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, and
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So
a game review.
Let's start with good reviews.
So...
We're both a big fan of Kotaku.
Yes, I like Kotaku's method of reviewing games where... It's not necessarily... Was that your stomach?
Well, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Beer.
If anyone heard that, points. Points towards something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So back to... Okay, so Kotaku. I will admit I am a bit of a fanboy when it comes to Kotaku. I like their articles. I like their style of things. However, I do like their reviews as well because it forgoes that kind of like number system. And they got away from doing the should you buy it, should you not buy it kind of method, and they kind of just give their personal opinions on it, which it's just like getting a game review from a friend almost, except you've never met this friend, you've stalked them for months or years, and you're maybe slightly infatuated with them, which, hey, good for you.
Yeah, I mean, you trust, they create it so you trust their point of view, but they don't tell you what you should and should not do with your money and time and investment. Mm-hmm. That's up for you. I mean, honestly, it comes down to your choice if you want to play the game or not. It shouldn't be told to you, because, I mean, it's like voting, almost. It's like, if people tell you, like, oh, this is why I'm going to vote, you're going to be like, oh, I'm persuaded to vote for that person they're voting for, instead of just looking at the facts both ways. I mean, same thing with game reviews,
Wait, you're supposed to read both facts?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oops.
Whoops.
Yeah, no, but that's in a nutshell. It's like what we were talking about a little bit before. Like, sometimes it feels like, when you go on Reddit or when you go on, like, another forum discussion group and people tell you, like, what's the best way to, like, min-max something. It's almost like you're trying to min-max your time with, like, a game review. And so it can be frustrating because it's like, well, do I go with that person's opinion? Do I go with that guy's opinion? What about my opinion? Oh, crap, I'm on the fence. Shit, what do I do? And, like, for me, like, I got this advice from somebody once. It's like, you're the only person who gives someone permission to kind of dictate how you feel and how you want to approach kind of, like, a subject matter. And, like, the example was, like, the ASPCA videos and, like, how they, like, when you watch them, you can change the channel and not feel bad, or you can watch them and feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So you kind of get permission to do that. So you kind of get permission on how you want to interpret... what the fuck is going on with Audacity?
It looks like it's recording correctly.
Okay. Weird. Again, I've been drinking. I apologize. You allow, like, other people to determine how you're going to spend your money, how you spend your precious time. Because guess what? We ain't on this earth forever, and we all have to sleep eventually.
Yeah.
Well,
I hate the whole, like, the conflict it puts in you when people say, like, you read people and, like, you know, you're this site says, oh yeah, it's good, thumbs up, totally buy it, and then you read another one on the reviews and it's like thumbs down. Then you have this conflict.
Mm-hmm.
If you just read the reviews that are like, here's the good and bad, do you like the good, do you like the bad, you know, or can you deal with the bad? And you're like, oh yes I can, then you're gonna buy it, or no you can't. Whereas if people tell you what to buy, it really clouds your judgment and could persuade you one way or the other, and then lead to you missing out, which really blows.
Oh yeah, and then you hear about it later from a friend, and like, you know, something where it's like multiplayer driven in one aspect, and there's no one on the fucking servers anymore.
And then you miss the bandwagon. You can't be cool like all the other kids. Undertale.
Hey, come on, man! Don't make fun of me.
I haven't played it either.
Oh, okay, thank God.
Yeah, but it just like blew up like crazy, and I'm like,
Yeah, I missed the whole thing.
I'll skip this until it's died down a little bit.
Well, like I looked at it, and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I'll get to it, and like, you know, life.
Yeah.
Evil life.
Well, I try to, like, for that reason of people's positive and negative, because there's trolls online. If you didn't know, if you guys didn't know that.
Wait, there's trolls?
Yeah, there's like
under
trolls.
bridges?
Well, if every internet page is a bridge or a comment page, yes, there's trolls there too.
My God, we're doomed.
Yeah. So, like, I've avoided it because there was so much positive and so much negative. Like, people went crazy even though they haven't played the game. They're all like, yeah, I love the game, and no, I hate it, stupid curse words here and there. And I'm like, you know, I'm gonna step away from this. I might try it later to have a conflicting
Biased?
Yeah, non-biased is the perfect way to put it.
I'm good with words occasionally.
Oh yeah, occasionally. And so I stepped away from it for a while. I might come back to it once the craze and hype is down, but
To be honest with you, it's been off and on my radar, and mainly off so long I probably won't get to it.
Yeah.
Which is probably a shame. But again, I only have so much time,
there's so many games. I mean,
and my hands don't work like they used to. So
yeah,
I'm gonna cut them off and get robotics,
dude, spin the wheel.
cybernetics.
You might get the devil robot hands.
Oh God,
you never know.
They'll choke me though. Okay, we're tanging. Okay, so that's like a quote good review because it really gives an open perspective on the person who played it. It went into what platform it was played on. It went into the amount of time that it was played on. You know, it went into like things they really loved in a quick little too long didn't read section, and things they didn't really care for. And then guess what? It's up to you.
It's not one person who does it, right? It's multiple.
Actually, it's typically one person.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I thought it was multiple.
Well, like the rest of the staff would play it, from my understanding, or most of the staff would play it, but it's one person who writes the review.
Okay. Because it seems like they have like a standard, like, don't spoil shit and don't.
Yeah, they really do a good job of not spoiling plot stories and things like that. Like they give kind of like a heads up if they're going to do something like that, or they at least give a heads up, like, you know, halfway through the story, something really fucked up happens.
Yeah.
You'll find out if you get that far.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, like, I guess not just game reviews, but their articles in general. They seem to like have a standard, like, don't blow it for people.
Oh yeah.
Don't, if it's good, you know, persuade them one way, but give them opinions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you liked it, just explain that you liked it. You know, they have a really good like standard across the board with all their writers saying, hey, you know, follow this kind of
mentality.
or mentality to make these articles to help people, but not force them or advertise for the companies, basically.
Right, and I think the reason they went away from like the point system or the scoring system is because, or the do buy or don't buy or wait, is because it was, let's face it, it was argued in a biased mindset. Like, you know, if it was like you gotta buy this, that company probably grossed a couple thousand units easily. Where if it's like, don't buy this is a piece of shit, obviously that company didn't get as well with their propaganda.
And some games deserve, like, you know, I love the Serious Sam games, but they've never had great reviews.
Oh no,
but
God no.
I think people should try Serious Sam. I'm not
They're
sure
fun.
about the third one, but I mean, the first two were just absolutely fun bullet hell. You know, like no one really knows that kind of style of game anymore. It was just fucking hold the trigger and just go to town and survive. You know, it's fun when you're drinking with your buddies or just late nights. Those have bad reviews, but yeah, so they're powerful. Reviews are very powerful.
Oh yeah, indeed.
Let's go to bad reviews.
I think we all know what we're talking about here.
10 out of 10.
8.6 out of 10 because I cried, but then I got erect.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's a
You
weird
don't get
review.
erect while crying? Never mind.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Folks, we're learning something new every day here.
So our example is IGN. They get a lot of flack. Some of it's deserved. Some of it I feel bad for them.
I feel bad for them most of the time.
But the thing is I don't think they have a standards or they have too many writers or something. But I don't know exactly what... I stopped reading for a while of IGN, but it's like they contradict themselves. They don't make clear points.
Well, my biggest problem with IGN was like was getting a news article that was pretty much summed up in the fucking title.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, they do have some good writers. They do have some guys who actually do a pretty good job. Their podcasts aren't bad from what I hear, because they usually get guests to come in. Which one of these days we'll get a guest on here when we can kidnap someone. I mean, convince them to come.
Chloroform.
Yeah, ether. Does it smell like ether? Bad joke. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what it is, whether they give their writers either too much freedom or they have this weird secret agenda that they have to kind of fit in at one point, or style, and it's hard to explain. And every now and then their reviews are pretty good and spot on, but sometimes it's just kind of clickbait to laugh.
Yeah, it's like... For me personally, yeah, it's very clickbaity. I hate how there's videos for things that could just be told in a few lines.
Oh, shit. Okay.
God, that's... Because, like, especially their mobile app is just atrocious. And, two, it feels like sometimes they're paid, which they probably are, to do things. And it's like, it feels so heavy one-sided. Like, yeah, they may list cons, but they don't really describe the cons of a game. It's just all pros, and it's like... At this point, you seem like you're advertising.
Yeah, like, oh, the con was that it was too short. Really? That's a con? Like, that could be good for some people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, if you extend a game too long...
Sure.
Yeah, so, I mean, they have ups and downs, and I don't think they deserve all the flack that they get, because now they're the norm when it comes to, like, insulting reviewing or game sites. I mean, it just, internet, it spreads like wildfire. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but, I mean, sometimes they do.
Wait, I thought the internet was a series of tubes.
It is, yeah. It's
Fire tubes?
It's a little black box with a little red blinking light for anyone who knows what I'm talking about. IT crowd.
Oh, God.
It's a good show.
It is a good show.
But,
oh, boy.
So, I guess let's jump to scaling. Because each site has their own type of scaling, except Kotaku.
4 out of 5 Marios.
4 out of 5 Marios, yeah.
Which is better than 3 Yoshis, but not as good as 12 Luigis, but is also not as good as 3 Toads, which... But you got to find a legend for this damn thing because it's tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, scaling systems are really sad, in my opinion. I think it's a bad way to review a game. And again, we're a little biased, probably because of what we've seen with Kotaku and other websites, and that's just the one we can think right now because we've been drinking.
Well, to be honest, we're biased, but we're also seasoned in the game market. We're not one of those.
Oh yeah, I've been playing
fanboys.
since the NES. So
yeah, same here, and we're not, and we do board games a lot.
That's
so
true.
we do reviews on those. So we're not. We're
not experts by any stretch, but we're not amateurs.
Yeah, the thing is that we branch out into so many different categories that we're not fanboys for any one. So I'd say that. Of course, I'm biased towards myself, but that our bias is kind of deserved through experience more than just because we like something. But that aside, I don't like scaling myself.
I don't care for it at all. I mean, it's not fair to give. Excuse me. It's not fair to give a game a number or a fraction or a system to say like its quality level. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some bad games out there, and they deserve to be treated as bad games, sadly. And that could be a number of different things, from like developers got crunched or rushed, or bad release method or bad port, what have you.
Yeah.
So some of them, yeah, they're bad games. I'm not going to argue that. However, a AAA game, I hate to use that term, but that's the industry now. A AAA game that has people spending thousands upon thousands of hours developing this thing, and just because one reviewer's either got an axe to grind or didn't like the fucking frame rate, which is probably their own damn fault, or maybe the developer, either or, it gets like a 60% or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's just sad.
Yeah, the point on that is the game's like 1 to 5 scaling, horrible, too narrow. 1 to 10 is bad as well. It's better because it adds some, uniqueness in there, like 8.5 or 8 and a quarter, but I don't think they do quarters or anything. It's like 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10 kind of thing.
Right.
But that's still too narrow because it doesn't cover each mechanics. Yeah, you can do an average, but an average is a dumb way to cover a game. Like, if they were going to do a scaling system, which I don't care for, I'd rather have just a good and bad opinion of things, or pro and con, I guess is the better way to put it, with, like examples. It's better than scaling, but if you had to scale, I would say break down the mechanics. And that's hard for some people because some people don't understand what mechanics are or how to break them down. And some mechanics are kind of hard to, define in games. But I think...
Well, look at our last couple podcasts. We've had a hell of a time breaking stuff down sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's hard.
It is. But, some games would be great breaking down to, soundtrack. What's 1 out of 10 for a soundtrack? What's 1 out of 10 for... the feel for shooting, kind of I don't know, it's kind of hard
to break down. It's hard to break down.
I can't think of a good example, but breaking down each mechanic, so there's, a list of 12, 10 different mechanics of 1 to 10 would probably give a better feedback than just a simple 1 to 10 average review or whatever they do on most sites nowadays. Percentage based, like you were mentioning, is bad. It's the same thing as 1 to 10. It's just in a percentage format. Like Rotten Tomatoes, I don't look at those reviews at all.
Like Rotten Tomatoes, I will admit I do look at them, but I don't judge the movie based on it because usually I can look at a movie and I'm not gonna enjoy that. I know it's gonna be shit.
Yeah, trailer's cheesy.
Yeah. Or this is literally slapstick kind of comedy style that I'll probably watch when I've had a couple drinks with my buddies and maybe something on TV when it gets there. Yeah. I can figure that part out, but sometimes it is kind of nice to look at it just to see how bad they destroyed it.
Yeah. Well, the reviews are different than the ratings, though.
Right.
The reviews can be hilarious, like Amazon reviews for products, like the banana slicer. Things could be hilarious. But
look at Steam reviews.
Yeah, those. Oh God,
those are great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill a weekend real quick.
But the percentage is what kills me, is because it can make something look bad when it actually might be just decent and mediocre, and maybe deserves a watch or two.
Or maybe a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
It may be crowded with so much paid advertisement and shit that it actually has a deep story in there. They just couldn't show it.
Yeah.
And
then we get on to the thumbs up, thumbs down, and the I'm walking.
You gotta walk around the table when you do that.
Sorry, it cued me.
That was beautifully timed. No penalty jar.
So that's a horrible system because it's just a straight yes, no, or which has no really value.
No, none whatsoever. It literally eviscerates a game, puts it on a fucking pedestal, or just kind of
Yeah, it just kind of shoves it under the carpet and it's we're just not going to talk about it almost.
It's there, it's on the shelf, we look at it occasionally, maybe we play it, but we can't throw it away or sell it. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like checking the expiration date on something. It might be good, it might not.
Yeah, milk. I can never trust milk.
Organic.
Yeah, I do almond. Lactose.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, so scaling is rough. I like non-biased. Here's the facts. Here's it is. But then again, we're logical people. We think that way. Yeah. I know. Believe it or not. So we like facts and let us decide for ourselves. Some people need people to decide for them, though.
Yeah, there is that kind of adage along the lines of following the herd, if you will.
Yeah.
And if some people really need that little extra push, maybe it's a good thing. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but maybe it's a good thing. Then again, it's so individual. It's really hard to actively review something because there's so many different mindsets on the concept.
Yeah. People need to decide for themselves, though.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
In a nutshell.
It shouldn't... you could persuade someone strongly on one point, which may help them decide, but they need to decide themselves.
This kind of sounds like our charity work for the podcast. You know, like we want you to make the informed educational choice to go from there. Welcome to the PSA Flickering Torch podcast.
Oh, yeah, we need a horrible 80s VCR
recording. Or the star that flies by. The more you know.
Yeah. But that actually leads into making reviews so they don't spoil the freaking game, Gears of War. I am so mad about that.
Spoiler alert, people are bad at this.
So reviews really need to describe games to convince players to buy or not to buy without spoiling the content. So they need to make persuasive arguments as to whether a game is good or not in their own ways without spoiling content. I don't think there should be spoilers, honestly. I don't think taking that away from people is good. In a review anyways. If you're doing a game walkthrough, because maybe you can't afford it or your PC can't run it, but you still want to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Walkthroughs, you're experiencing it with them. It might not be as interactive. You might not make the same choices as the player, but you're still experiencing a story.
No, throw the grenade!
Yeah, right? But for reviews, when you're describing a game and you just list out the plot right there, there's no emphasis. All that creative work done by the music people, the writers, the art people who make these sceneries to give you that immersive feel. Yeah, it's all wasted because someone's like, spoiler, I don't believe there should be spoilers, and I definitely should think there should be warnings more, because I came across the Gears of War where I found that Marcus Phoenix, I'm not going to say it, but Gears of War.
As you heavily imply the spoiler.
Yeah.
As he goes and gets ice cream.
Yeah, right.
Duh. Jeez, man. He's just an old guy. He just wants ice cream. Yeah, you're a monster. Oh, wait, I did it. My bad. Sorry, folks. Yeah, no, like...
Do you like your ice cream chunky?
I think a Lancer to an ice cream would be just a little too much.
Well, it's
fun.
Fed with locust bits.
Yeah, spoilers. Yay, they're great.
Any experience with those?
Too many to really recount, I guess, at this point in time. The crappy thing is that humans in general, we have this... literally think of it like, since we're in the holidays, Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, you have this present. And you want to know what it is.
Yeah.
You really want to know. And probably when you were a kid, you probably peeked. Because, let's face it, who didn't? I did. Yeah. And so humans in general, we like spoilers. It's weird. We really enjoy them. Case in point, I know, when the Harry Potter books were first coming out, I read all of them up to the last one. The last book came out, and I was so damn busy with school. I worked a graveyard shift. I barely had enough money nor time to myself in any facet. One of my colleagues, she just read the whole damn thing in a day and a half, that tome of a book in a day and a half. And I just told her, I'm like, okay, fuck it. Tell me who dies, tell me who lives, and then just give me a general rundown, because I'm not going to have time to read this thing for years.
Yeah.
And those were all spoilers. And she did. She told me everything, and I haven't read the damn thing since. And so...
It kind of ruins it, right?
In one form or another.
It's good to know the story. It really is, because you want to know the plot, so bad. I read books, within a day, 300-400 pages, just because I gotta know the story. I would literally sit through a weekend and just read a book, because I'm like, I can't stop. I'm a story person. I'm RPG all the way,
Woo!
So... I feel you on wanting to know, but your example for Christmas presents where I disagree, you want to know, but the thing is you can enjoy the product after you get it. Whereas if you get a spoiler on a game or something, you might not necessarily go back and read A, the book, or B, the game, because you know the story and you're like, well, I don't feel like spending $15. I know what happens. But that immersion is...
It's almost destroyed.
Yeah.
So it's that point in time, it's like, oh crap, I just read that. Can I bash my head against my desk hard enough to forget this, but still have the cognitive ability to play the game? Let's find out.
Yeah. Concussions. Medically, you can recover. Do you lose? You don't lose memory. But anyway, that aside.
What?
Yeah, right.
Brain damage?
So I am against spoilers as much as I love to know everything. I love to learn everything.
It's such a double-edged sword. It really is.
Yeah. I just don't like it being ruined. The experience is what makes you grow. And we've talked about this. I know. 80s. Sorry. So I guess let's jump into the irritating fact that I have read today, the 2016 Game Awards.
Oh, yay, the Game Awards. So how do we want to do this? Do we want to jump down and save Game of the Year for the end, or just crack this motherfucker right open?
Game of the Year for the end.
Okay, all right, so we're doing it the teasing way. Haha, you have to listen to the whole podcast.
Yeah, we're not going to spoil it for you. We just covered spoilers, Dead Scott.
I'm bad at this.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at this. All right, so what are we starting with? Like,
Let's just start at the bottom.
Okay, so best esports game? Is that the starter we're going with here?
Of course, it had to be that one.
Well, you know.
Yeah, well, okay, so
esports is a big thing, apparently. I don't watch, I'm going to be honest with you. Like,
I do.
I had the opportunity years ago to get into a business venture with a buddy of mine who was trying to promote esports, but it seemed like such a risky financial scenario. I turned him down. I don't know where he is. He's probably making, if he did well, he's probably making a shit ton of money compared to me.
Yeah.
But good luck, man.
It was hard to start an esports business.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, until the big companies that are already in sports and stuff like that are doing it.
Yeah, he was doing it back in like 2004, 2007 is when he was doing it. So
that's tough.
That was rough. So, best esports game.
Yeah.
Drum roll.
Counter-Strike, Dota, League of Legends, Street Fighters, and the winner,
Overwatch.
Which is crazy. I watch the... See, I'm not a huge esports fan. So I don't like watching any of the esports on any of these games. I watched Rainbow Six, and yes, I've played it, but I like tactical and skill and precision. Not saying that there's not skill involved in any of these esports. It just...
There goes half our listeners, which was one. But
it's just... It's odd that Rainbow Six didn't even get on there, for one, because...
Oh, good point, actually.
It's a $150,000 prize pool for multiple teams to win, like different, North America, Europe, Xbox, PlayStation, and things. So there's a lot of money on stage, but it didn't make it, which is surprising. And Overwatch is still somewhat newer to the esports.
Yeah, it seems like it jumped on, this year?
Well, I mean...
Or months ago?
Months ago.
Yeah.
I mean, because Rainbow Six is out for a year, but they started doing esports, right away, and just now recently becoming popular, but they had to do stepping stones. Overwatch seemed to just pile on in there, and now it's one esports game of the year, which is surprising, because I cannot imagine a professional Overwatch team. I haven't watched it, though, so I can't... I mean, it's kind of a biased judgment, but it's just hard for me to imagine such a crazy Team Fortress 2-esque game as professional team, because whenever I play Overwatch, it's just mayhem. It's just chaos going.
Oh yeah, like if you get a team, unless you're support, you really don't have a team aspect, because most of it is quote the K to D ratio, kind of jerk off, what have you, digital pixel stuff. Yeah, which is sad to see. I mean, I could see there is probably your choke points like you would have in CS:GO, your...
I mean, the maps are designed well, yeah.
The maps are designed well for that kind of stuff. And, there is some team building aspect. I know when I would play with buddies before my hands gave out, I was always support as the healer, or maybe a tank.
Yeah.
And, you always had somebody as the healer, you always had the tank, and you had somewhat of a strategy on kind of your plan, or, someone with Symmetra would set up a teleporter in a good place, or I can't pronounce it, would set up a turret and so forth. Torshabor or whatever it is. You guys can yell at me later for that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, so... The dwarf dude.
Torbjorn?
That's a candy bar, isn't it?
No, that's a Troubleone.
That's how you pronounce it?
No, his name's Torbjorn or something like that.
Torbjorn!
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay.
Yeah. No, you're talking about a Troubleone, which is...
They're delicious, by the way.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Okay, so Overwatch won.
Yeah.
Cool. I can see that.
All the standard games, Overwatch is really the only newcomer. I'm surprised Hearthstone, which has been around a lot longer, wasn't on there, because there's actually a good following.
That would have been cool to see.
Yeah, and to me, it's not saying they don't deserve it. It's so new that I can't believe they outright won it.
I'm surprised Smash Brothers wasn't on there.
Yeah, actually.
Smash Bros in one form or another, because Smash Bros tournaments are fun.
Yeah.
I've competed in a couple amateur level stuff and got my ass handed to me. That was fun. And then I've wrecked a couple 6-year-olds, which I'm slightly ashamed to say that I was happy.
Digital penis.
I'm a monster, I know. Yeah. That's why I'm dead. Okay, so best esports team. I don't really follow it enough.
I don't get how you can compare different games esports team. It doesn't make sense to me.
That's like same thing with like okay, so this falls in the same category of esports player. Like, esports, cool. Like, good for you guys. That's awesome. You're kind of living the dream in one form or another.
Yeah.
However, I agree. I don't see how it's possible to compare a better player versus a better team when you're talking about different types of esports.
Like, how do you compare League of Legends, Counter-Strike, StarCraft, Street Fighter, and Super Smash Bros?
You can't. The mechanics are all different in one form or another.
And you could have great players on all of them. How do you compare them? They're different games. They can't compete each other.
Yeah, like you could have gods amongst those games, but you put them in the other, like you put them in a new form, and they're amateur level again. You know, like, oh, how do I? Wait, that's how you attack? Oh shit! Oops.
Yeah.
I killed half my team.
So I don't. It's like based on popularity, and I don't think just popular things should win. Best fan creation.
They didn't have a winner. It got pulled.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I think because maybe of the lawsuit that was happening. Or the cease and desist, sorry.
Yeah, because as soon as they announced it, or I think maybe before or after, I don't remember, but Brutal Doom had their cease and desist go.
Which was sad. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, which was a neat idea and take on it, which I don't think... I think it was free, right?
I don't remember. I think so.
I don't think they were selling it, so I don't think big companies should just be like, stop, I'm going to kill your creativity that could market your game. How about you take those people who actually made something great out of it
and hire them?
Yeah, they actually spent time to make a roguelike Doom game for you guys, which you could expand your Doom franchise, which you are revitalizing. There's an idea, but you kind of just screwed the pooch. So,
well, it's like all those poor modders from Skyrim who got like fucked over horribly. I knew one of those dudes.
Did you?
Oh, I felt bad for him. He got so much shit, and he created a beautiful concept. I'm not giving his name, but I used to play Final Fantasy XI with the guy. It was great.
He's Bob Ross. Happy little trees everywhere. Oh, just saying.
Yeah, he was the Bob Ross mod. You figured it out. God, sorry, man.
Skyrim needs more trees. Just saying.
Trending gamer. To be honest with you, I don't follow enough individual gamers.
Yeah, it's a personal opinion.
Yeah, you know who I follow? Me.
It's true.
Okay, most anticipated game.
This I could see.
This was cool. I can see why this one won. So I'll go through the list. God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mass Effect, Andromeda. I said that right?
Yep.
Wow, amazing. Red Dead Redemption 2, and the winner, which is very fitting in one form or another, Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, I'm excited for...
Which I wish I owned a Switch at this point, or a Wii U.
Yeah. I'm excited for all of it, because like God of War threw a great trailer out there.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, and their intro gameplay session looked great. It's like, there's
the
actually
demo?
an emotional touch to this instead of just sleeping.
Death, destruction!
Yeah, sex and destruction of gods. Horizon Zero Dawn, I haven't really paid much attention. Looked decent. I haven't really followed it. I'm not really anticipated.
Guerrilla Games, the studio, I remember playing the Red Faction stuff from them.
Yeah.
And those were really good. I believe
Very underrated series. I love the destructive.
Well, they were the first to really mainstream that.
Yeah, which was amazing.
Guerrilla was by far their best installment, in my opinion.
See, I didn't get to play Guerrilla. I only got to play the
I should let you borrow it.
previous. But Mass Effect Andromeda, Mass Effect series is great. Storytelling, sci-fi.
Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. I haven't got to look much into it, though, sadly.
Andromeda, I haven't had the time.
But I hope they really do something great with Mass Effect to keep it going, because it has a huge universe.
Mm-hmm.
Red Dead Redemption.
Can't wait.
I didn't get to play the first one, actually.
Oh!
But I wanted to. Like, I've played... yeah. I've played, like, what is it, Gun and all, different, like, cowboy shooters, but I'd never played Red Dead Redemption.
I can't talk to you.
Good. I wanted that. Asshole. And then, of course, Legend of Zelda.
Breath of the Wild.
Who doesn't? Me and you are both huge Zelda fans.
Yeah. And I oh, God, I want to play it so bad.
I was watching gameplay today.
Oh, yeah. No, I watched the teaser they threw out there to make us all cry. Mm-hmm. And then the live action stuff, too. And it looks absolutely phenomenal. And if I have to install cybernetics into me, I'm finding a way to play that game. But the initial investment, it's like, God, I have to get another new console, go through this process again.
Well, hopefully they make good Pokemon games and future games. They're actually putting CPU and GPU power into this beast.
That's true.
And portability to make it Awesome. So now
That's
they can
right,
just
I
throw
could-
a few more games.
Technically, I could play Breath of the Wild on the
And the previous
yardstick
games,
version.
all of them on the, because they
That
have
means
the
that-
backwards compatibility, right?
Ooh.
So
You're right. That means I have to steal the games from my parents' house, which they're gonna be pissed when I take certain ones back.
yeah.
They still play Wii Sports, surprisingly.
Oh, yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that's cool. So that's, to me, I think that's a winner in my own heart.
Yeah, no, that one made sense completely. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm dying to play Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely.
It looks awesome.
Can't wait. Because the first one was just awesome.
Yeah. Can't believe I haven't played it, but I didn't own a PS4 or Xbox at the time.
I should let you borrow some consoles and things. Anyway, so next one, best multiplayer game. I'll let you read these.
Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Overcooked, which is a funny one. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh, it's hilarious. I haven't played it. I've only watched the quick snippets of it. Titanfall 2, which is just released. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, and then the winner,
If you can't guess it,
Overwatch. Took it by storm, I'm assuming, just because of the player basis.
yeah.
I could argue this one to the death.
Oh, yeah. Like, so we're talking multiplayer here. And so originally what we were talking about was, what was that first one? Esports game?
Yeah.
Okay. So esports game. So now we're talking multiplayer. Like, I can see Overwatch being in there. I can respectfully
Hands
agree
down.
to that.
Yeah.
For me, though, my vote probably would have been a toss-up between Rainbow Six Siege and Battlefield 1 for multiplayer.
That's a good choice. I mean, Gears of War 4, it has new things, but it's still kind of a rehash. I mean, although they've always done the formula really well,
Yeah.
it's still kind of a
Oh, I love Gears of
rehash.
War 3 Horde mode. That was my favorite.
I used to do tournaments and won, so
Okay.
I love GAL. Overcooked, it's just 4 people. You're trying to cook stuff, but it's really hard. You burn stuff and you end up hating people. It's like a relationship ender.
Oh, is it like that that game where you play with 2 people where you're defusing a bomb and one of you has the manual and the other one has to do it?
I mean, kind of similar concept is like you got to rely on each other, but it's way more chaotic.
Or are we talking like Monopoly level ending friendships and relationships status?
Kind of that one.
Oh God.
Yeah. That's the way it's been described. I've never
Ugh.
played it. I need more friends. But
We keep losing them.
yeah. God damn it, where'd you put Steve? It was your week to watch him. But
You were
anyway,
supposed to feed him.
but I just don't think when it comes to multiplayer, Overwatch should have won. Just because it's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It has a creative uniqueness to it, but you have people who shoot different types of guns, and you have ones with certain abilities. Nothing really new. Yes, they're somewhat unique and they look unique. I mean,
They look pretty.
yeah, Roadhog's scary. Tracer's awesome. Widowmaker is in too many different types of internet pictures. But honestly,
Way to avoid that one.
Yeah, I don't honestly.
Uncanny dodge.
Yeah, I don't think it should have won. I think it won because of popularity again,
Yeah.
which I don't. Not by talent or skill. I mean, Blizzard makes great games. But I really think people have put more precision and time and effort into making like Siege amazing, Titanfall 2.
That was really good. I remember watching some of the highlight videos and things like that, and some of the mechanics and things in it, and it looks really impressive. I wish
It's
I could.
smooth.
I wish I could play it. Yeah.
I mean, it's graphically and just like mechanic-wise really smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It is fun to watch. I played the first one. I loved it. The second one looks way better. I haven't got to get my hands on it yet. So many multiplayer games.
Too many.
But it looks just an awesome warfare game with a lot of
Versatility.
Yeah, versatility.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Overwatch, whenever I play it, I get really bored quickly because it's the same thing over and over.
It really requires you to play with people you know to like do other things while you're playing, like discuss like the current events or laugh at the stupid internet joke or
Or to set up like combos.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get it with just normal people, rarely. You could have cool things happen, but it's like the same few maps, the same scenario of moving objective or
being
whatnot.
or look, here's the kill pocket again.
Yeah.
And like, I went Genji ulti and just wrecked everyone.
Yeah,
You know.
player balance is another thing, but
We're not getting into that.
yeah, I don't know how people get to level 200 and stuff like that. I'm like at level 40.
I think it's
50.
just maybe that just kind of that mindless kind of like reaction where you're just like, okay, Overwatch, like let's have some fun, let's relax. But like for all those moments of like the kind of kills and things like that, you got to have like dozens of hours of just like click, oh, I'm dead. Crap, I'm dead. Oh, click. Oh, motherfucker. Like
I gotta have depth. I gotta have something. If it's repetitive, I'm not going to. Siege, you could say it's a matchmaking. It's a match 4 on or
5 on 5.
5 on 5. I can't even.
You're the one who
count right
plays
now.
it.
I know. I was holding my fingers up and I had my thumbs bent. And I'm like 4. Damn it, no 5. It's a 5 on 5 and it's the same like maps. Although there's a ton now and a ton of operators.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always different. It's always, you breach differently, you fight differently, you have shitty teammates every time. So, you got to fend for yourself 1v5, and when you clutch, it feels so damn good because that game is so hard. Unlike Overwatch, it's like, respawn, go back. You don't respawn in a tactical game like that.
There's no reset when you die?
Yeah, you get your ass handed
what?
to you, and then you live with your ass in your hands. That's basically it.
Ass hand.
So... Next one.
So, best sports/racing game, which doesn't seem fair to kind of bunch them together, in my opinion, because there are so many sports games.
But are there many racing?
There are a fair amount, believe it or not. I mean, they don't come out as often, but there are a fair amount. So, when FIFA 17, MLB The Show 16, NBA 2K17, which sounds like a band name of like a pop band.
Yeah, kind of.
Sorry, guys. Pro Evolution Soccer 2017, and then the winner Forza Horizon 3, excuse me.
Yeah.
And like racing games for me, like I remember playing like the Burnout series as like when I was younger, which those were really fun.
Those were.
And Mario Kart, hands down. I mean, shit. Yeah. You can blow a whole day playing Mario Kart.
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, those were fun. Hard.
Yeah.
A lot of those realistic driving sims were pretty rough. Sports games, like, I played a lot of NHL games when like, the SNES was out and things like that. Oh,
God, I hate the SNES ones.
And then, of course, NBA Jam. Who hasn't played NBA Jam?
Techno
And if
Ball.
you haven't, you have not lived. I'm sorry. I'm saying it right now. Bucket list, people. Techno Bowl. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Wow.
I missed that.
But, like, other games, too. Like, I remember, like, Rock and Roll Racing for the SNES was, like, one of my all-time favorites, hands down. But I don't think it's fair to bunch them together,
Yeah, well...
It feels like just a filler category.
I think Forza Horizon 3 deserves a win because it is a beautiful game. They took time to make it right, and I haven't heard a bad thing about it.
You know more to think about? I haven't either.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it might be similar to other ones, but they did it right. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much content because I'm not a big racing fan, but everything I've seen about it, it's beautiful. It works well. It's smooth. Now, when it comes to a sports game, the problem is there's one every year.
Yep.
There's not much creativity difference between them. It's not like, what is the old Blood Bowl or whatever, the ones with the humans versus the orcs football game. I forget.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember the name of that.
So there's no creativity. It's like you have an MLB, you have an NBA, you have a soccer, you have an NFL.
Didn't mention hockey. You monster.
I was getting there.
Yeah.
And, there's 2 soccer categories in this one, but it's like every year there's a new one. So
you're right.
They really don't branch out. And it's just like the same every year.
Well, soccer is the most popular sport in the world, but...
Well, no, I don't care about there's 2 entries. I'm just saying the sports games just lack.
Yeah, sadly.
All
right, let's jump over. Best family game. That's you.
So, let's go. Dragon Quest Builders.
Didn't play it.
Never heard of it. Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Who loves
Lego games?
Yeah, I mean, Ratchet and Clank. I've loved Ratchet and Clank since the first one. Skylanders, Imaginators.
Never played it.
Neither have I. I turned the cartoon on from a kid, and he was distracted. It's nice to see Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and stuff again in a cartoon. I never played the game. I don't plan to. But the winner is Pokemon Go.
And we've done a whole segment on Pokemon Go, so we're fans. And that's all.
Still fans,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, still fans.
So I
got my 7-day streak of catching.
I cannot because when I go home, I live in the most rural area possible, and you know what there is? Absolute jack shit.
First world problems, homie.
Yeah. Well, Who knows? I live out in the wilderness. It's probably not first world.
We'll hit the square. We'll go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's that? Okay, strategy game. So we got Civ 6. Oh, I just gave the winner away. Scott, don't drink.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the winner. Fire Emblem Fates, which I didn't play that one. I played the last Fire Emblem before that. Banner Saga 2, haven't played. Total War, Warhammer. Not a Warhammer fan personally. XCOM 2, great games, but didn't get a chance to play them.
I like strategy, but they just take a lot of time.
Now, is it really fair to have Civ 6 kind of win because it was released so recently compared to like XCOM 2, which came out earlier in the year?
Yeah, and XCOM 2, I mean, XCOM series do really good at making feel interactive.
It's the thing with the Fire Emblem games. Like, permadeath is real.
Is it? I've never played Fire Emblem.
Oh my god.
I heard the Banner Saga, the first one was great, and the second one I've seen a lot of praises on Steam, but I haven't got to see much on it, so I'm surprised that one too.
Yeah.
Total Warhammer, or Total War Warhammer, that's meh.
I'm sorry, I'm not a Warhammer fan. For those of you who are, awesome. Keep it up.
Especially those guys who do the figurines, the miniatures.
Oh man, that's intense.
Crazy. Cool shit though.
Okay.
Best fighting game: Killer Instinct Season 3, King of Fighters 9, 14. Wow, I read that wrong.
Yeah.
I thought the I was before the X. Just saying.
Sure.
So 14, and then Pokken Tournament.
Pokken, I think.
I've never heard of that. And then of course the winner would be Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, fighting games. I really like fighting games. I've always enjoyed them, but I really enjoy the 3D fighters. I wasn't much of a 2D fighter.
Yeah, I'm not.
So for me, like Soul Calibur was my thing. Love Soul Cal.
Yeah.
Miss Soul Cal. The last one was okay, but really miss Soul Calibur.
I see. The thing is, I don't really like. I really don't like fighting games. They get really boring quickly. Soul Calibur was fun. I love Mortal Kombat just because of the old nostalgia sake. I didn't get to play the new one. I'm actually surprised. Well, no, I'm not surprised because it came out in 2015.
I used to settle disputes with my roommates via fighting games.
That's fun though. And that makes you like them more. I never had an excuse to do that.
Well, the battle was always between me and my buddy Rick, and it was always Mitsurugi versus like Keelik. And that was always like the epic fight. And man, like we got good at really messing with each other on stuff. Like he picked up parries really well, and I learned how to dodge really well. And like the range of Keelik, and that's a different subject. But yeah, like I can see Street Fighter winning. I really can.
Yeah,
you know, they do a pretty good job. Although King of Fighters, I would argue that was probably a really good contender for first.
Yeah. If I was gonna do fighting game, I'd rather do something hack and slash like Devil May Cry.
See, that's more of a hack and slash.
Yeah, exactly. See, but it's not a fighting game versus another player, but it's that same mentality of just combos and smashing the shit out of buttons, right? Just I'd rather not doing it with other people. Yeah. I hate getting stuck in combos. God, that pisses me off.
All right, best RPG. So we got Dark Souls 3. We got Deus Ex Mankind.
Ooh.
We got Witcher 3.
Yeah.
We got World of Warcraft, the latest expansion, Legion. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 10, which I haven't played a Xenoblade series ever.
Yep.
I'm sure I'm missing out, but again, so much time.
It's 10 now, so
yeah, I'm
I guess
kind of
they've
behind.
been decent, I guess.
So the winner was The Witcher 3.
Which is odd.
Yeah, since Witcher came out a year ago.
Yeah, and it might be
an expansion.
It's an expansion. It might be a big one, but it's still.
I honestly like my vote on this would have been Deus Ex.
I would say so. Yeah.
You know, because it's the newest one in the series. It is for this year, and it's a full title game. It's not the expansion.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Dark Souls would have been great, but they're really just wrapping up the end of the series. Deus Ex did something it's a great sequel. The Witcher 3, yeah, it's just taking, I mean, it's as much as I love The Witcher, it's just taking the game and, I don't know, adding to it. Is it a standalone?
What?
The Witcher 3?
The Blood and the Wine?
The Wild Hunt.
Oh, Wild Hunt is, but the expansion they're focusing on in here.
Oh, Blood and Wine. Yeah. Well, no, it says Wild Hunt and then Blood and Wine. That's the confusing part.
Damn you!
Yeah, I wonder actually.
Okay.
I didn't pay attention to that. But anyways, So yeah, I don't even though it's still Witcher 3, right?
Yeah, it's still Witcher 3.
So okay. So we could be wrong. If you guys correct us,
Yep, by all means, you're more allowed to.
I haven't played The Witcher 3 since it first came out, and I spent like 70 hours, and I haven't touched it since.
And I'd absolutely love to play it.
So as for the expansion and stuff, I can't say whether it should win or not. I thought it was an expansion, but looking at it, seems like it's an actual, somewhat standalone piece to The Witcher 3. So.
Interesting.
But it says Blood and Wine and Wild Hunt. Anyway, so correct us. So best action/adventure game. Winner's kind of odd on this one because it just released.
Like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, and not many people have got their hands on it.
Maybe 3 weeks ago?
Dishonored 2.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it probably is deserved. I've heard nothing but praise for it.
Oh, I love the first Dishonored, and I've been dying to get time to play the second one.
Yeah.
And, let's look at the other entries here. So we got Hitman.
And then
which was pretty good. What was that? Hyperlight Drifter?
I've never heard of that.
Oh, I think I've seen that on Steam. Okay. Ratchet and Clank. And then Uncharted 4, which, I can see it. Dishonored 3. I'm thinking
ahead of
yourself.
Yeah.
Dishonored 2, again, odd because of its late entry into the mix. I guess if we, not saying I'm against it, but if I had to be against it, I'd probably say Uncharted 4 or Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Would fit for, but Ratchet and Clank's a rehash, so I take that back. So let's just say Uncharted 4. And those of you fans of Hitman and Hyperlight Drifter, you can yell at me later in the comments.
Seems like Hitman has like continual things going for it, which is
pretty,
new.
Yeah, it's interesting. They have limited
targets.
time frames of targets.
Yeah, which is pretty neat.
I think that's interesting. That's a great way to continue playing, and I imagine it challenges players to come up with a new method of trying to assassinate.
It's kind of like creating a thief game and then having new targets to steal stuff. And,
yeah.
Like that would be cool. Dishonored could do something like that. Like have new targets to rob each week. Hint, hint, give us money for giving you ideas.
Yeah, then it can happen.
Right.
Patent pending. Okay, best action game.
So Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Overwatch, Titanfall 2, and the winner, Doom. Which, by all reviews and praise sake, Doom should
I can see
win.
it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna argue.
I could see it. Battlefield 1 still new. Gears of War still
tell me how
semi-new.
Overwatch classifies as an action game.
Yeah, I don't.
A multiplayer? Yes. Action?
No.
That's a hell of a stretch.
Yeah, I mean Titanfall 2 fits because of all the chaotic warfare going on around you. It's
that's a fair
pretty
point, too.
actiony.
Well, Battlefield 1, I think it has actually a story mode, as short and brief it is. So.
Oh, actually, Titanfall 2 does too, as a campaign. But I'm just saying, like warfare, it's actiony. It's you have explosions, you have epic moves. Same with Battlefield. Overwatch, it's a multiplayer game, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Doom, who doesn't love Doom? Shame on you if you don't.
So this is interesting because the two topics we just read were action adventure and action.
Yeah.
Odd.
So one is more of like action within RPG elements, I'm assuming.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Very loosely tied, but okay. So best VR game. So we got Batman Arkham VR, Eve Valkyrie, Job Simulator, which I've played that one. That one's fun. Thumper, and then the winner is Res Infinite. And I've played the original Res game for the Dreamcast. Res has been great. I can see how this would do fucking phenomenal in VR.
Yeah.
So it totally makes sense.
Looks pretty. I've never played any of those games though,
Res is pretty much Res is the kind of game you either need to be on a psychedelic for or really appreciate music.
LSD, man.
Well, hey, it was created for some reason.
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, VR game style. Job Simulator was fun, but it's repetitive after a while. I mean, it's fun to try to break the game, if you will, by doing things you're not supposed to, but they've kind of planned for that. Okay, so best mobile or handheld game?
We'll run through these lists a lot quicker since we're running out.
We're eating up
so
ton.
Clash Royale, Fire Emblem Fates, Monster Hunter Generations, Severed, and the winner is Pokemon Go, of course.
All right, so we're going to jump ahead to independent games. So we got Firewatch, Hyperlight Drifter, Stardew Valley, The Witness, and then the winner was Inside. And you know us, our vote would have hands down been Stardew Valley, period.
Yeah, I would say that, and Firewatch is...
and Firewatch second.
Yeah, I haven't played Inside, looking
Neither
forward to, but all good choices. Can't lose there. All right, next one.
So games that produced impact.
1979 Revolution, Blockhood, never heard of it.
Yeah.
Orwell, Sea Hero, That Dragon, Cancer, which I heard is touching and emotional.
And destroys you, and it made perfect sense that would win. It really does. Best performance of a voice actor, we have, I'm just going to read the games, Mafia 2, Firewatch, Uncharted, Firewatch, and Uncharted again. And of course,
Nolan.
Uncharted as Nathan Drake won.
Yep, Nolan North. It's a cool name.
It is a cool name.
Yeah.
But hey, more props to those guys because they're going through a rough patch and they do a hell of a job.
Yeah.
Just like everyone else.
Sadly, we have to gloss over, music and stuff quickly.
Gosh, this drives me nuts. But so best music / sound, we have Battlefield, we have Inside, we have Resident Infinite, we have Thumper, and the winner is Doom. And music, one of these days we'll do a podcast on that because I got a lot to say. But again, we've had you on this way too long. So
best art direction, Abzu, Firewatch, Overwatch. What? Yeah, I didn't actually see that one before. Uncharted 4, and then Inside. Inside, brilliant.
Yep, that works.
Love the contrast and stuff. But best narrative, Firewatch, Inside, Mafia 3, Oxenfree, winner, Uncharted 4. Great storyteller, though.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Uncharted 4 is the winner, of course. Best game direction, oh my god.
Winner, Blizzard for Overwatch. Winner again.
Yeah.
DICE, id for Battlefield 1, id for Doom, Naughty Dog for Uncharted, Respawn for Titanfall. Yeah.
And Game of the Year, which, god damn it. If you haven't figured it out by now, you haven't been paying attention. So Game of the Year contenders, we have Doom, we have Inside, we have Titanfall 2, we have Uncharted 4, and the winner, Overwatch. I don't agree with that at all.
Neither do I.
We'll get into that later, but we've taken way too much of your time ranting and raving about this crap that, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't fucking matter because it's your choice and your choice alone.
Yep, it just blew us away, and then we had to talk about it. We threw our other topic away for another time just because of the shocking results.
Yes.
Not surprising, but semi-surprising at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain, but anyways, that wraps up for guys. Thanks for listening for an actual almost hour here.
Yeah, you hung in there.
Yeah, if you do or do not agree, or you just want to share your opinions with us about our reviews and the awards, let us know in the comments
section below.
Yeah. So we'd like to hear from you and continue on. But thanks for listening. This is Smite
and Mr. Dead Scott,
and we'll see you on the next one.
You didn't do your thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
There we go.